What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Web3 DJs. It's a day for a great day, and you're here at the home of the hottest projects, the biggest influencers, and the best conversations on the entire blockchain. I'm your host, Sticky Finger Jones, and I got my co-host here, the ever faithful Hofstra.eth, the one and only. How you feeling today, brother?
Good. I'm deciding if I should change my name to Hoff. So it's just one syllable versus two. Hoff.eth. I kind of like that.
I kind of like Hoff.eth. That's got a good ring. Let's start it off with that. If you guys think Hoff.eth has the ring to it and this is what the man should switch his name up to, go ahead and let us know in the comments. That being said, like I mentioned earlier, it's a great day for a great day. Another opportunity to dominate, to be successful, to become the best versions of ourselves. And we are going to do that today. The space moves fast. Don't get left behind. We've got a great show lined up for you all today. We're going to start off by breaking down some of the top crypto moves, what's going on in the crypto, give you a market update there. Then we're going to transition to our bread and butter, NFTs, all things NFTs, whether it's news, whether it's the movement, whatever that looks like. Hofstra's going to handle that. And you know me, I'm going to provide my color commentary like always. Finally, from there, we're going to move on to our patented segment. We're going to talk about, well, before we go to our patented segment, we're going to talk about the number one thing that you guys want answered. Hurricane Ian. First of all, our thoughts and prayers are with anybody affected. But we want to know, what does this mean for us in Web3? How does Hurricane Ian affect NFTs and crypto? And that's something we're going to dive into. And then we'll move on to our patented segment, talking about beefing on the blockchain, the things that you guys all want to hear. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it and bust down our crypto market recap. Bitcoin currently sitting $17,537. If we look at it, it's up 2.3% over the last 24 hours and up 5.48% over the last 7 days. Look at that chart. That looks pretty to me. I learned this week on the Nifty Alpha that apparently technical trading is a total lie or a farce. I mean, I can kind of get on board with that for crypto. So don't let the chart fool you, but it looks pretty good to me. Hofstra, you got any Bitcoin?
Nope.
Nah, neither do I. So we're not stacking sats, as they say. Let's move on to the next one. Ethereum, number 2. This is what most of you guys are here to talk about. $1,342. Look at that, $1,342.69. Now that's nice.
They did that like 1,200 yesterday.
Yeah, it was absolutely. And so look at that. Up 1.2% over the last 24 hours and up 7.55% over the last 7 days. We talk about this all the time. It is following the same pattern as Bitcoin loosely. Again, not financial advice, trade your own plan, but I'll just say since I started adding Ethereum, I checked just before the show, I'm up 5.38%. Now that ain't bad. Moving on to the other kind of hot topics. Should we talk about Cardano? I know that Cardano's kind of been coming up lately in the NFT space. Is it worth a mention?
Nah.
Yeah, moving on. Solana, $33.40, up 1.71% over the last 24 hours and up a whopping 8.74% over the last 7 days. How about that? The other piece that I'm adding along with my Ethereum would be Solana. And so that's very encouraging. One thing that I did want to talk about that I didn't bring up here because it is hot. XRP, 45 cents, up 0.85% over the last 24 hours and 15.13% over the last 7 days. We missed this. We were talking about adding. We didn't do it. Look what happened here. Trade your plan. Who knows what's going to happen with that. Crypto especially is just really volatile at this point in time. And so, kind of do your own research on that one. Next, the token to rule them all. So they say. ApeCoin, $5.39. Talk about the token to rule them all. They're the only ones down so far, down 0.8%. Well, okay, and we got a shift down 0.46% over the last 24 hours and down 6.9% over the last 7 days. We all heard about mutant staking. Maybe the run-up kind of is, this played on with that. Mutants floor lifted and that sort of thing. And so maybe people were buying Ape in accordance to that. And now it's starting to cool off. And so the ApeCoin is cooling off as well. Last but not least, Tezos, where Hofstra likes to call home, $1.44. It's down 0.54% over the last 24 hours. But fret not, if you invested early, you'd be up 2.39% over the last 7 days. Hofstra, what are you thinking about crypto here? You making any plays?
The only reason I buy crypto is to buy NFTs. Plain and simple.
Fair
I
enough. Fair
mean,
enough.
the funny thing is, it's like, crypto is risky as hell, but NFTs are like 10 times riskier because they're illiquid. So
For
if ETH
sure.
goes down and the NFT tanks, you're doubly screwed. But that's the area I like to play in. Big risk,
Very
big
nice.
reward. Plus, it's just way more cool. It's like, trading pictures of like cool collectibles. Like I can get into that. It's fun.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I feel way better about buying a picture of a rat with wings than I do, just adding to my Coinbase portfolio. That being said, I do kind of want to hit on that because I'm actually on the opposite end of the spectrum. I mean, anybody who's playing in NFTs right now understands the market sentiment, and you're a fool if you continue to deny that. Like, Solana is where people are moving. Solana is hot. The number of active traders is like off the charts, especially compared to what we're seeing in Ethereum right now, especially if you look at a percent increase, right? It's second to none. And so for me, for a while, I've been wanting to get into Solana. I don't really exactly, know the ropes, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. A lot of people correlated to kind of the early days of Ethereum. So rather than investing in Solana NFTs, I still want to have a hand in the game. So I'm stacking Solana. I'm stacking Sol right now. And so that's kind of my play. And another interesting look, if you want to get involved but don't know exactly where to put your funds, maybe stack in the coin. So, yeah, that's my thoughts right now. Hofstra, what you got for us? I know that you did a deep dive here on the NFTs. This is what the people are here for. Break it down for us, brother.
Okay, so this is the last 24 hours. Sales volume is pretty low. I mean, 4.6 million ish. Total sales 7,600. I think I read somewhere earlier that the average sale right now is like just around. It's like 275, $300 for an NFT. Couple of things on here that jump off. Dead Fellas came out of nowhere. It shot up pretty significantly. This is a project that I owned, and it dropped down to like 0.68. I'm trying to figure out, like, is there some news I'm not hearing? I know they did some collaborations with
Wrangler.
Doom Brand and some other stuff, but that's the only notable thing that pops off. Everything else is pretty consistent. Crypts, Bored Apes, all that stuff always at the top. But I want to just dive into a couple of headlines here to kind of tie into your point. I thought this was actually really interesting. So NFT trading volume plunges 98% from January despite rise in adoption. And I think you did the math before this. It's 100% accurate. So
It
if you
is actually, yeah. Let's tell that story a little bit. So I was over here before the show crunching numbers, and I'm looking at charts and this sort of thing. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. I'm looking at charts, trying to understand, the NFT market as a whole. And based on my information, just like Hofstra said here, I was like, wow. If you look in terms of unit sales on the daily from our high, the US dollar amount of total sales is down 98%. And he goes, well, what are you doing that for? I've got that pulled up already. And he showed the headline to me just like he showed you now. But here's what's interesting is, yes, obviously, unlike sales, the total number of unique wallets will continue to rise. But while sales have dropped 98% on the daily, the number of active traders has only decreased 35%. Now, look at that. That's very interesting. And so, to me, what this is saying is, while people are investing less money, there are still more people in the ecosystem than we would think, right? The total dollar value has decreased, but the number of active traders has only decreased by a third, if that makes sense. And so I think that makes me feel a little more bullish on the space than I did initially. And of course, the number of total unique wallets has risen, as you would expect. And so,
yeah,
increase in adoption, decrease in total volume.
Yeah, basically it says the number of wallets owning at least one NFT has skyrocketed to 6.14 million compared to 3.36 at the end of January. And here's the thing. Every day there is more and more bullish news. Like these aren't small companies making the jump into NFTs. They're big companies. Walmart joining the metaverse. I mean, that's about as big as it comes.
Do you know what they called
Apple.
their metaverse? It's like Walmart Playland or something like that, right?
Yeah. So that Apple announced that they're opening an exchange, and so that's huge. Those are two of the biggest companies out. A couple of other things that I pulled up that I thought were really interesting. So this Puma, right here, Puma launches its first metaverse rivaling Nike. This part right here talking about, look at this. Nike has been dominating the NFT space with over 93 million made from various digital collaborations. And what does it cost? Not that much. I mean, compared to like a physical store,
For
having
sure.
employees and all this stuff, you're making something that's not that expensive. So your margins are stupid crazy. So when they did the launch before, Artifact, I mean, they bought that company for $1 billion. Well, who else is in it? Adidas and Puma. So what I pulled up here, I actually bought the Puma NFT as a part of, because of its association with 10KTF. This oh shoot, it logged me out here. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is actually their metaverse experience here.
Okay.
And if I just go
Damn,
in
this
here,
Web3 DJs exclusive. Who else is showing you the Puma Metaverse walkthrough?
yeah, so
Boot
this is just an
program.
example of like what you're going to start seeing. Everyone's getting creative on their experience, right? And so everyone's creating new things, they're experimenting, they're trying to one up each other. But what it's doing is it's creating some pretty cool stuff. So like if you go in here, this is how you navigate through the Puma portal. This is just sick. Like, check this out.
Dang, that looks just like me. Oh, Neymar?
Yeah, so they're creating this clothing. Like those are the shoes right there that guy had that just dropped. So you buy the digital shoe and you get the in real life shoe. So this, like,
Dang,
you can
that
skip
is
through this, but this is
crazy.
like, so imagine what Nike's going to bring when they add their metaverse experience. Okay, so I'll just skip
Wow.
through this, but that's cool. Then you can
No,
you go to
I wouldn't
like
say I was
different
enjoying it,
areas in
but
there. There's like different areas that you can go into that are like portals, I guess. And then this is where you're going to buy your clothing, and then they're going to give you different things for going in the metaverse. And, everyone's like got a different take on what the metaverse is. But, I mean, these are big companies, and the news that's coming out is not small news. It's
right.
big money, big venture money or venture capital, or institutional investment, traditional companies. I think it's because this is the wave. The model's already been proven. The money that people have been making is huge, and these guys don't want to get left behind. So if you're even 2 years from now getting in, you're going to be, behind the curve. Yeah. So this right here. So it says lobby Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Hey, I do also want to call out. We had to switch the screen because we were waiting in the queue to get in. And this is just a afternoon of hanging out, right? And there were people ahead of you trying to get into their metaverse. And so, I mean,
Well, this is big news. This just dropped today. I mean, it's not news that this is coming out, but look, you got to walk through here, and then this is like a portal you go through. Let's see. So then this takes you to some like other thing.
hey, be careful, bro. You know what they
Going
say
through the
about
portal.
portals.
Okay, now I'm going to Act 1, and there's a whole story behind this. I mean, these guys. So look, you walk through this. Now you're going through a portal. And then I don't know what these guys are, but this is like the new clothing. Oh, remember, it's Fashion Week too. So this is all tied into like Fashion Week, I guess.
Hey, so it is fashion. Who are you wearing? You know what? That's a good one.
I'm wearing Gutter Cat gang, baby. Look at
Let's
this.
go
Gutter
ahead and
Cat,
do this
Gutter
one real
Cat,
quick.
Gutter Cat
Let me see what you got.
shorts.
Dang, Hofstra? Sheesh,
Man, my
people
whole
don't think you're part
wardrobe
of the
now is
team.
my whole wardrobe's like if it's not an NFT project, I don't even want to wear it because and I walk around and nobody knows what it is, but I'm like, I love it. I
For
love wearing
sure.
shit that nobody has and being in this clique and this crew. It's almost like being in a band or like you're kind of in it and it's under. I don't even know how to explain it, but look, you got a Krypton Goons. I just got my package today.
I was gonna call it out, man. I have to shout them out. So I'm rocking the Krypton Goons, the Goons gang. Um, Let me just tell y'all, Drewby Two Shoes, stand up. This man knows what he's doing. This is my first time rocking this shirt, and the fit is insane. I mean, hey, I ain't trying to brag on myself or something. You know, I've been trying to do my push-ups and hit the gym and all that good stuff. But Drewby Two Shoes and the Cryptoon Goons, I'm gonna just, take an aside for a second. I really do think that their project, their apparel brand, is probably like the best bang for your buck of what you're gonna get in this space. Not only are their price points great for the holders, but the quality is insane. I mean, I put this shirt on and my mood lifted. I knew it looked. I had to go tell my wife. I just started like I just kind of stood by her and was just like, "Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Notice anything different about me? Maybe check the sleeves, see how the shirt fits." So if y'all think the shirt fit is nice, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm hyping myself up too much, say something negative about Hofstra. Don't give it to me. I was just
Yeah.
joking on that, but
So I've been traveling a lot every other week. So like last week I was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston.
yeah.
The week before, or 2 weeks before that, I was in San Antonio, and then before that I was in Austin. Next week I'm in Austin. The following week I'm in Omaha. 2 weeks after that I'm back in Austin.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm all over. But the funny thing is, I make it a point to wear
Right.
NFT gear.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've been waiting for somebody to spot me in the airport because it's almost like Fight Club. It's like
For
you look
sure.
at that person and you're automatically buddies. You just start going, and it doesn't happen very often. The only time it's really happened is like when I'm headed to like a conference, like an NFT conference, and you see all kinds of people in the airport. But I've been waiting.
It is very true. It was last weekend actually. My wife and I went out to an Oktoberfest here in Dallas, and I was, all right, let me see what I'm gonna wear. It's day night, I want to look good. I was like, let me go ahead and toss on my Gutter Cat Gang shirt. I walk in there, and she said, "You're just wearing that because you hope somebody's gonna call you out and say gang gang to you." And I mean, in my head, I'm thinking, "You damn right, that's what I'm hoping for." I literally been waking up every morning praying somebody recognizes me in my NFT gear and says something to me. But on the outside, my response was, "No, I think it looks good. I like the shirt." But yeah, for sure, I'm right there with you. No question about that.
But as the kids say, it's if you know, you know. It's
if
like
you know, you know.
if you're into NFTs, you get it. If you're not, it's like
People think I'm out gang banging with the stuff that says gang gang on it and that sort of stuff. Which,
Yeah. So one last thing right here, since we're in a bear market, right? This just dropped the other day. Fidenza creator Tyler Hobbs raises 16.75 million on QQL NFT drop.
wait.
Like 14 ETH. Look at this. Action today closed at 14 ETH and netted around 16.75 million. Bear market, my ass.
I gotta ask, Tyler Hobbs, is this the tiger from Calvin and Hobbes? Is it that dude?
No, this guy's one of the most prominent artists in the NFT space, and he partnered up with this Dandelion guy, and they created this QQL drop. But it's generative art. This is generative art. Here's the other thing. I don't know if you've heard the news on this, but like I think it's MoMA just sold off like some Picassos or something like that to raise 70 million to buy art for like digital art, because during COVID their digital stuff outgrew the traditional art. So the trend is already going there, and the numbers that this stuff is bringing is insane. So again, like you don't want to get left behind. And if you see like Sotheby's is opening an exchange, like there's all kinds of stuff going on. And that's why it's funny. Yeah, all the numbers are down, but big money is going into the space. In fact, I think it's like the number one place people are investing right now is into NFT projects, like venture capital companies.
Yeah.
I can find the article, but like it's the number one investment area.
For sure.
Hey, call what you want, naysayers. We're all gonna laugh when this is like, I told you,
Yeah, 100%. I actually heard on the show today that like if you close your eyes and you weren't looking at the numbers, that you would just listening to the news, you would think this is a bull market. I got two quick questions for you. I forgot the first one. So the second one is, do you know what MoMA stands for? And I remembered my first question now. Do you know what MoMA stands for?
Museum of Modern Art.
Okay, I heard everybody shouting that on the Nifty Alpha show this morning, and then some people kind of following up, and I was like, I'm not really sure if they actually know what that stands for. I'll be honest with you. The only reason I knew what it stood for is because I bought some Vans when they collabed with the Museum of Modern Art. I got some Jackson Pollock Vans, and so I was like, oh, obviously I knew what that is. Second question. So it's really interesting. You said that like Sotheby's, their digital assets outperformed their physical assets during COVID. Now, let's rewind a little bit and think about COVID. People were literally unable to attend auctions, they were unable to be in person. Everything had to, at least at COVID's peak, everything had to be virtual. How much do you think that played into kind of like the digital boom? And now that the restrictions off. That's why we're kind of seeing a decrease in money that's pumping in there. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it absolutely contributed to everything, like trading cards, collectibles in general. Like everything skyrocketed. Everybody had a lot of money because they're getting out free money. They're at home, can't go
Right.
out. So where are you going to get your entertainment online? So everything just skyrocketed. Um,
And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because now, from a business perspective, obviously I work in that sort of thing. We're like aware of seasonality and that sort of thing. Like I use a lot of like time series statistics and that sort of thing to model seasonality. And so I wonder if they're making this giant investment based on something that they've seen in the last few quarters, when in reality it's going to take a lot longer for that to prove off. But at least if they build out the marketplace, it'll be there. The blockchain's not going anywhere. It's just the adoption cycle, and when they might get returns on their investment, positive returns on their investment might be drawn out a little further. But I thought that was really interesting. Also, I know you got another piece of news pulled up. We forgot to mention this earlier. If you enjoy this content, the number one thing that you can do is hit that retweet button, go to our YouTube and press subscribe, and then tell a friend about it. Number two thing you can do, leave us a comment. Let us know what we missed. Let us know your thoughts. We do want to hear from you. We listen to you all. We're aware that we don't know everything. The Web3 space is evolving rapidly. We want to know your thoughts, whether it's on a topic that we brought up today, a topic that we missed, or maybe you just want to say hello. Let us know in the comments. Hit that retweet button and go to our YouTube and subscribe. Oh, and even more importantly, we launched our TikTok. This man Hofstra's killing the game. Make sure you check us out on TikTok too. So, what you got for us now, Hofstra?
all right, here's what I was talking about. Christie's, I said Sotheby's. Christie's is going on chain with the new NFT marketplace, but it doesn't mean if Christie's is doing it, Sotheby's is going to do it. And then let me see if I can go back here. So, I mean, there's so much news, man. It's like
so much news.
Yeah, let me find. Yeah, GameStop's new FTX partnership could boost Web3 onboarding. GameStop's huge.
Yo,
FTX.
do you know if we can buy stock in FTX? I know that sounds a bit roundabout, but
That's a
do
good
you have any
question.
idea? Because I am super bullish FTX. I know they sponsor the Nifty Alpha. If you look at next time you watch a baseball game, look at the umpire. He's got a fat FTX patch on his chest. Yeah, I'm bullish FTX. So if you
Yeah,
can buy
look at this. Netflix is using NFTs to harvest engagement data, and TD may never be the same. Every big brand is getting into the NFT space,
for sure,
but it's going under the radar. Like people, and this is not like national news because NFTs are kind of like this, thing over here. But that's when you want to invest. You want to be on something when everyone is not on something. Look at all the people that crushed Bitcoin. Everyone was flooding Bitcoin, and those people that bought it way back in the day are just sitting back laughing because they're freaking millionaires. Well, NFTs, they're probably not going to be called NFTs in the future, digital collectibles or whatever you want to call them. But this technology will be incorporated into everything. Ticketmaster, also, there was another article talking about how Ticketmaster is, it's not up here right now, but they're already experimenting with token gated tickets. Now, this technology exists, like at NFT NYC. I forget the name of the app, but like at VCon, it was integrated into the app that they created for the conference. So the technology is there. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. But imagine a world, right, where like now, when you want to buy tickets secondhand, you got to go on an exchange and then you got to do a whole thing. But imagine something like OpenSea, right? So you have some tickets, you put them up on OpenSea, boom, the floor price is right there. People buy them, and then it goes right into your wallet, and then you've got the ticket. Like it's authenticated on the blockchain, boom. Like it would just make everything so much easier. than like all this crap that you got to do right now with the bots and all that. It's like, I mean, someone I'm sure will figure out how to game it, but this technology, like they don't even really know what it all is going to do. You hear these speculations, but everybody is interested. Disney, like they've already got their Vivi, all their collectibles. Now the thing is, like if you're not familiar with NFTs, like you talked about Solana, right, being kind of a popular one right now. Well, the reason is it has different functionality than Ethereum and Tezos, and all of them have like their pros and cons. So people are adopting these different blockchains because of what they think they can do. Like what is it, VeChain, right, for the UFC? That's their
Very
one
interested in that.
VeChain. So everybody is getting into it now. If you look at sporting right now, every sports franchise, NFL, basketball, MLB, look who the main sponsors are. It's all crypto companies.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, they have
2 years ago, I was like, look, this is the trend. All the articles were talking about this. It's like, I don't know what else to say. If you're looking at a place to invest, or, you should be taking this serious. Yeah, it might seem stupid that we're wearing like a cat caricature or whatever on us, but this is serious tech, and this is a serious business getting serious money.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It's just like any tech company valuation ever. They're getting money pumped into them before they even really kind of prove that they're worth their actual valuation. And another thing that's really interesting, so the what is it called? The Nord Stream pipeline that just exploded, that was coming from Russia. So I was watching the news and they were saying, okay, well, now Russia's probably going to retaliate. What if they smoked some underwater cables and made it so that the banks in Europe could not communicate with the banks in the United States? And I was sitting here thinking, like, wow, that is such a Web 2 problem. Like, let's figure out the blockchain, and that literally solves that opportunity. That's like one of the first instances in my life where I heard a real world, a global problem, and thought like, wow, Web3 literally solves this. Like, move to the blockchain and you've got this going on. It looks like you're pulling something else up. Do you want to talk about something before we bring up how the Hurricane Ian impacts Web3 and NFTs?
Yeah, well, the last thing we were talking about Apple, but Apple's ready to enable NFTs, but with the small catch. So like imagine, and they already have this for Solana. There's the Solana phone where it has a wallet incorporated into your phone, right? What's
Right.
Apple going to do? They're going to have the same thing. And you already see Facebook saying that they're incorporating all of these different cryptocurrencies into their platform. They're already like beta testing this stuff. So when we talk Web3, really Web3 is just Web2 with crypto or blockchain or whatever you want to call it. But
Sure.
this technology, it's like that's where things are going. And so I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and talk news stories all day, and it's not getting a lot of hype, but people in the know, we're following this stuff.
Yeah, man, it's just like, it's boiling, and it's just it's getting, or it's at a simmer and it's just getting ready to get boil. I think that a bull market will hit us really soon, but again, cares what Sticky Finger Jones thinks. The market's more powerful than I am. Now, what I really enjoy the most about the Apple, despite their 30% royalty catch, is that Apple is a huge brand. I mean, as a matter of fact, you can name probably 100 people with an iPhone. If I asked you to name people with an Android, you'd have to really think about that. And no offense to my Android users, you guys are just, behind. I guess we'll say it like that. So, anyways, the real beautiful piece about Apple onboarding this many people is just that, yeah, it's going to really increase exposure to Web3 and NFTs, and I'm fired up for that.
Okay, so to your point about Hurricane Ian affecting the NFT market,
Let's talk about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely not going to affect it whatsoever.
Hey, it could. Well, yeah, and I
No
was really
effect.
trying to kind of boil down this thought. Here's a couple of things that I came up with, and these will be loosely applied. First, these are discretionary income. That means after people have paid their bills, after people have bought, their groceries and paid for daycare and all that sort of thing, then if they have any leftover money, there's the potential that it could be spent on NFTs, right? It's purely a discretionary income business. It's not a consumer good or anything like that. And so, when Florida, a very large state, has a problem like this, like a hurricane, it's going to make it tough on, one of the largest populated states. They're going to be spending their money elsewhere. Number two, I actually think it will increase exposure to NFTs slightly. So something that we saw whenever Ukraine was invaded by Russia is all of a sudden there was 150 different NFT projects saying buy my NFT and we're sending the proceeds to Ukraine. I think that that will absolutely be the case here with the hurricane. But I do want to call out, first of all, let me say this hurricane is serious business. I mean, look at that red. They're talking about it being in category 4. They're talking about the storm surge being up to 18 feet. It's really going to do a lot of damage. I think it's great to donate to the cause. My advice would be go on to like Florida's website or something, listen to an interview by Ron DeSantis and donate appropriately. I'm not saying that all of the NFT projects that are raising money, if you will, for Florida are frauds, but I will say that a lot of them are quick cash grabs. And in the way that the market's still so unregulated, um, don't fall victim to that. If you want to donate money, find the appropriate way to do that. And I hate to bash NFTs from this perspective, but it is like the thing to do. The second piece is, you know, Florida, Ron DeSantis crypto. I literally just Googled Ron DeSantis crypto. You see that he's already signing laws deregulating crypto. He's saying Florida should let their businesses pay their taxes in crypto. The state is figuring out their crypto policy. He points out flaws and how dangerous Biden's crypto plan could be. All this sort of stuff. Signs legislation easing cryptocurrency. So while I'm not saying Hurricane Ian will directly impact it from this perspective, Florida's definitely pro crypto. And who knows, man? The number one thing that I learned from my time at Walmart is what we in America, or what we like to call in the modern day problems, are really opportunities. And so who knows? I think if anybody's going to figure it out and find the opportunity in this for crypto, it would be Florida to do that. So that's how I think it will affect it. I mean, the answer is just like you said, probably won't. Unless, let's say, OpenSea servers or something were in Florida and they get flooded. I mean, that opportunity. I need to do a little more research, understand where exactly information on the blockchain is stored. I mean, obviously the answer is the cloud, but it has to be back somewhere. And so, there would be that potential, but that's a bit of a stretch. So Hurricane Ian, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that's in Florida right now and people that'll be affected in the surrounding states. How it's going to infect us or affect us in Web3, probably not.
So you're saying, wait a second. So you're saying crypto or NFTs is like discretionary income or whatever?
Sure.
I just want to point out one of the biggest sales for CryptoPunks happened today. It's only 3,300 Ethereum, so 4.4 million. And then I think it was like yesterday, the day before, also some huge Bored Ape Yacht Club sales. So money is coming in. I don't know where these guys have discretionary money, but like there's some huge sales happening right now.
Yeah, but what I'm still saying is, like, I can guarantee you that the person who bought that CryptoPunk had his groceries, his electricity, his rent, all that sort of stuff paid for first. He ain't living out.
He's the guy that bought Bitcoin way back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Bringing everything full circle. So, without further ado, let's move on to our patented segment. Hofstra, you were fired up earlier in the week. Let's talk about it. Beefing on the blockchain. What do you got beef with today?
Some bitch ass community members and Discords.
Let's hear about it. I mean,
man, everyone's tough. Everyone's tough behind a computer. I'm like, you want to be tough behind a computer, man? I wish I just saw you in person, because it's some little pussy over there, like act. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't say that to my face.
Oh, hell no.
Sorry for my language. I get a little fired up. So I go in there. There's a project that's supposedly backed by some really big people. We both bought it, and I go in asking questions. I haven't checked in a while, and straight up, the community manager's just like, I asked, where are we at in the project? Oh, it's coming. I'm like, okay, like what date? Oh, well, we're building. And I'm like, well, like, can you give me a little bit more than that? And then like, we just kept going back and forth, and they're almost like putting me down in here because I'm asking questions. I'm like, dude, if I was new and I was coming in here and I'm asking questions and you guys start talking shit to me, why the hell would I want to buy your product? They're saying, oh, we're building something great. We're doing this, we're doing that. And I'm like, really? Like, Do you have anything to show for what you're building? Absolutely not. Oh, we can't talk about it.
No.
You haven't made an announcement for like months. The last thing you did was from NFT NYC, which was a video. And why is it out of the question for me to ask where we at on the project when nothing's been happening? And so then it starts into this like one-upping thing and this and that. And I'm like, look, dude, I've raised money for businesses. I've built businesses. I have a fairly large business. Like, like it's not out of the question for me to ask, what are you doing with the money? Where are we at in this project? If you're telling me that this thing is great, like show me. I'm a holder. Like, oh, well, we don't want to do that because we only want real people that are in it for, not the quick flip. I'm like, bullshit. Come on. That's like a weak ass answer, man. Like, where are we at in the project? Come on.
Dude, I could not agree more. I hate that. And the thing is, like, people take it so personally for you to ask a question. I've had a very similar experience, honestly, countless times. I've been kicked out of Discords because of the questions that I've asked. And it's never anything malicious. It's me legitimately wanting to know and then not accepting the BS answers that they provide me with and following up on them. And again, I'm professional fashion and that sort of thing. And I literally, obviously, I'm in the general chat and they're like adding mods in the general chat. Can we kick him? Can we kick this guy? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do I not deserve? Did I not pay hundreds of dollars to be a part of your club, to be part of this project? If you're not a slow rug, don't be offended. Prove it.
Yeah, or like let us know what's up with the project. Show something. And the thing that got me on this was a community manager. Like this is the dude that's supposed to be representing the company.
Right.
For new people coming in, answering questions, engaging with the community, talking shit to me because I'm asking valid questions. You know what I mean? In a very condescending, like trying to put me down as if he's smarter than me or something. And I'm like, yo, I just came in here to ask a couple of questions. I haven't even checked. I forgot I own this. But I'm like, really now I want to be a part of your project? I was like, fuck you, dude. Like,
for sure, man.
Rocks, man.
Here's the thing is like what we have to remember though is like, look at us. We're professionals. We do well in our lives. The people who are probably running these projects and get upset about them are the type of people where if you went to their house, they got their mattress on the floor. They're into Raising Cane's and asking for, they say, no bread, give me double coleslaw. They're, using, and nothing against this because I did this all through college, but they're like, their meals are based around which fast food apps have the best deal that day. They're not like you and I, man. When we log out of the Discord, we leave it behind us and we move on with our life. Like they have nothing but that community manager role in a failing project that you guys are, not getting anything done in. And so, honestly, I feel bad for them. How about that? But
I want to fight him. I'm like, fuck this dude. Like, say that to my face.
Oh yeah, they never would. They never would. No way. There's no question about that.
Oh, and then he was even like, I said, dude, I was at VCon. I was at NFT NYC. I said this stuff. And then he goes, well, are you going to be at Art Basel? I said, yeah. I said, I hope I run into you. He's like, oh, yeah. Like, and then these guys are like talking shit, making fun of it. Dude, check out my LinkedIn. Like, what do I got to prove? Oh, we don't know if that's actually you. And then he's like doxing me with my real name and stuff. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, and here's the other thing is like, okay, that's a community manager. How can the founder sit back and see that and be like, you earned your paycheck this week, brother. Right there. That's exactly what we're paying you for, to charge up our community members. It's like, I'm not a fool. I'm not going to say the space should be all positive and that sort of thing. But like from the project perspective, you should be a professional, right? I mean, it's wild when you go in there and ask questions and they start name calling you and totally avoid the question. Here's what it comes down to. If you can't defend your argument, you insult the man. And it's just like, that's a loser's mentality. That's, tough, man. And what's really tough about that is I guarantee you many people who are listening to this show resonate with exactly what we're talking about here. And if you do, let us know in the comments, man. It's called Beefing on the Blockchain for a reason. Call them out. Let's hear it. Honestly, we probably support you. You got Web3 DJ support. We want to hear about it.
We need to put these people on blast. We do.
Or she can't let him
Hiding
get away
behind
with
a
it.
computer or in a Discord or an Anon profile, like, that's weak,
For
especially at this
sure.
stage in the game. Maybe back like a year ago, you could get away with all this stuff. But look at the trading volume. These projects are down. So if you want to survive over the next 2 to 3 years, you better have something good or else you're going to be gone. And maybe they don't care. But I'm like people need to put these people on blast. It has to happen. And we need to talk about this stuff, because if I'm someone new and I'm looking at going into a project and I find
Right.
out that this is the way I'm treated, like in a real business, if I go in and I ask, like, hey, I had a bad experience with the guy at the front here. Can I talk to a manager? And the manager
For
starts
sure.
making fun of you. He's like, dude, you need to get out of here, bro. Like, I've done more than you. It's like, that's kind of what it is. And I'm like,
Going straight Karen on him at that point, brother. Karen Finger Jones at that point. You know what I'm saying? Um, But yeah, I totally agree. And here's the thing, man, it's not like it's hard. All the founders need to do is sit down with them once a week and say, here's what we worked on last week. Here's what we're working on this week. Here's what we have planned 6 months, 1 year, X number of years down the road. And here is when you get the question, here's how you respond to it. Give them a 3-minute elevator pitch. And dude, like imagine if you would have went in there with a question and he said, great question. What's your availability look like? Let's find some time to talk. I mean, dude.
bro, I actually invited him on our show. I was like, and then it was funny. And then it was funny in my Twitter thread. I had actually I texted him a long time ago, just saying, hey, I'd love to talk about this project. I'm a
Yeah.
holder. My co-host is a holder, and I never got a response. And when I went in there, I was just cracking up, because I went in, I was just going to be like, I said, look, man, if you want to come on and talk, I'd love to talk about the show. I'd love to ask questions and hear where you're at. What did they do? Nothing.
Nothing.
He was cool after, actually one of the guys in there did respond correctly, but then these other two punks, like, they didn't. But I'm just like, dude, yeah.
Yeah, they're lame. What we like to refer to those people as in the Web3 space is mama boys. So,
Pussies.
yeah. Well, a
Sorry.
little more eloquent than the way I said it. So, but that being said, man, everybody makes mistakes. We can't hold it against them. What I'm going to say to y'all is do better. Otherwise, people are going to start leaving. And it's like, when the founders come to your community managers and say our engagement is low, people are flooring our assets, don't ask why. Tell them. Say we were hostile. They asked questions and we booted them from the Discord. And I think your founder will love that response. No question about it. So that being said, Hofstra, what else you got going on the rest of your week?
What else I got going on the rest of the week? Huge fight this weekend. Pay-per-view fight. Looking forward to that. Playing DraftKings like a junkie. You know what? My Saturday, or actually it's my Friday, I start prepping. I start researching, and I never was like, I didn't do school. I dropped out of school. I got a GED, and I never worked this hard at anything. But I'll spend 9 hours reading every article, watching 4 different podcasts, going through notes on how to pick my lineups and this and that. And I'll just be like a crackhead looking through this stuff, and then I'll lose like $25.
Yeah, I mean, but it's all worth it, man. The ride is great, right? And here's what you got to think is like you lost $25, sure, but like the $25 worth of excitement is absolutely, the bang for your buck there,
When
right?
you hit and make $12,000 on a tournament and you hit that perfect lineup, oh man, that feels so good. It's so rewarding after getting your ass kicked for 6 weeks in a row. Or like on the MMA fights, the thing is, you'll have it perfect, and then a guy will get DQ'd for kneeing him while he's down, and all this stuff is just fucked.
Brother, one time me and my homie put I don't remember exactly what the cash was, but it was on Anthony Smith to beat John Jones. And the only reason we put the cash on him was because Anthony Smith was like plus 1,500 or something like that, like a huge number. I'm like, wow, man, it's worth a sprinkle. Let's put our cash together and bet on him. Anthony Smith had a chance to win the fight. John Jones kneed him in the face while he was down. He had a chance to win the fight, to win our bet. And he said, no, I want to have honor. I'm going to continue to fight. Totally understood that, man, at the time. The next weekend, there was at least 2 of the exact same situations, not title fights, and both fighters took the dub. And I was like, golly, where was that at? So, yeah, I'm gonna be right there with you watching the UFC. I'm a UFC freak. If you guys are into the UFC, I keep telling you to comment. If in case you haven't got the meta, give us a comment. Let us know what you're looking forward to this weekend. We love to
Hey,
talk
actually,
UFC with you.
I do have a little alpha.
Okay, hold
Like,
on. Hold
probably, I
on.
don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this or not.
Let's hear it.
But a big name in the MMA space, which is a buddy of mine, introduced to another guy who's a big name in the NFT space, are going to be collaborating on some content here as a part of their overall Web3 brand. He hit me up the other day. I was stoked, and I was like, hell yeah. But these guys are really trying to be, I guess what the equivalent is to the Barstool Sports of Web3, and are all content. So I really hope it comes out. That would be awesome for the space and just for my buddy.
That would be awesome for sure. Like I said, I love MMA. Anytime you can combine a passion with a paycheck, MMA, NFTs, and getting paid, sign me up. And I guess when I say sign me up, maybe I'll subscribe so I can catch the videos. But whatever that means, I love that sort of thing. So yeah, awesome. Remember, you heard that alpha here first. So whenever it pops, let them know Web3 DJs was the first to tell you about it. That being said, until next time, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, press the retweet, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts. Most importantly, tell a friend about it. This is the Web3 DJs, again, the home of the hottest projects, the biggest influencers, and the best conversations on the entire blockchain. We're here 2 times a week, every Wednesday, every Sunday, doing it for y'all, doing it for ourselves because we love you guys. Let us know what you thought. Hofstra, you got any closing words for our?
Yeah, we're really trying to pass that 140 subscribers. So if we can get to 141, it's going to be huge for us. And you know what? We don't care. We love this. We'll get there.
Should we tell him the stakes? Hofstra said if we get to 150 subscribers, he's going to get a face tat live on the show.
No, actually, if someone can prove that they get us to 150, I'll give them something dope. Something actually that's worth some money.
Beautiful.
I have a bunch of badass like collectibles. I have probably 10,000 MMA trading cards. Most of them are signed. I've got posters. I've got sneakers. I've got art. I've got, you name it, I collect it. I'll hook you up.
Outstanding.
You got us 10 new subs.
10 new subs. That's the challenge. If you can do that, let us know. Hofstra's going to reward you, and I'm going to watch him reward you. So that sounds great. Like I said, we're Web3 DJs. I'm Sticky Finger Jones, and I got the man, the myth, the legend, the Web3 warrior himself, Hofstra, soon to be Hoff.eth, coming to you live.
I hope I see you at Art Basel, whatever the hell you call it.
We're coming for you.
What do they say? Like when I see you, or like it's going to fuck, dude. I'm not that gangster, but I'm down to get down. Get some little Web3.
Down to get down. Web3 DJs. Peace.